सभी को सादर नमस्ते। टुडे इज मंडे December 8th 2025. We will start our session on संध्या उपासना एंड मंत्र स्वाध्याय। आप सभी लोगों का बहुत बहुत स्वागत है जो हमारे साथ जूम से या फिर सोशल मीडिया से जुड़े हुए हैं। एंड दिस प्रोग्राम इज बीइंग ब्रॉट टू यू बाय आर्या प्रतिनिधि सभा अमेरिका। हमारे आज के स्पीकर हैं आचार्य वरुण देव जी फ्रॉम सियाटल। नमस्ते आचार्य जी, आपका स्वागत है संध्या सेशन में। आप संध्या से स्टार्ट करिए प्लीज।
जी धन्यवाद। नमस्ते सभी को। आइए हम सभी मिलकर ईश्वर की उपासना करेंगे। ईश्वर का ध्यान, केवल मात्र ईश्वर का ध्यान ही हमें सांसारिक दुख, सभी प्रकार की हमारे जीवन में उलझन एवं उस सर्वोच्च सुखों की प्राप्ति कराने का आधार है। यही वह साधन है जिससे हम सभी दुखों से छूटकर उस अनंत ऐश्वर्यशाली प्रभु के आनंद को प्राप्त कर सकते हैं। परंतु उसको प्राप्त करने के लिए मार्ग लंबा है, कठिन है। परंतु उस कठिन मार्ग पर चलने का दृढ़ निश्चय करने वाले वहां पर अवश्य ही पहुंचकर उस परमेश्वर के अक्षुण्ण आनंद को प्राप्त करते हैं, जिसके लिए जीवात्मा अनंत असंख्य जन्मों तक प्रयत्न करता है, इस संसार में भटकता है, संबंधों में, वस्तुओं में, परिस्थितियों में वह उस आनंद को खोजता रहता है जो आनंद उसे केवल मात्र ईश्वर के सानिध्य में, आश्रय में ही मिल पाता है। तो आइए हम उसी आनंद की खोज में, उसी ज्ञान की खोज में जो मुक्ति को देने वाला ज्ञान है, ज्ञानान मुक्ति, उसी ज्ञान से मुक्ति संभव है, उसकी हम प्राप्ति के लिए प्रयत्न करें। मन को सभी बाह्य विषयों से पृथक कर लें, संसार से स्वयं को कुछ समय के लिए अलग करके तटस्थ हो जाएं एवं मन को एकदम निश्चल, शांत, सहज, कोई भी चिंता, तनाव, किसी भी प्रकार का कोई भी विचार हावी ना होने दें। ऐसे समझें जैसे लहरें आती हैं जाती हैं, ही किसी प्रकार विचार आ रहे हैं, जा रहे हैं, परंतु आप निश्चल हैं, साक्षी हैं। अथ ब्रह्म यज्ञः। 3 बार लंबा गहरा श्वास लेकर ओम की ध्वनि का उच्चारण करेंगे। ओ ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शन्नो देवीरभिष्टय आपो भवन्तु पीतये शंयोरभिस्रवन्तु नः। ॐ वाक् वाक्, ॐ प्राणः प्राणः, ॐ चक्षुः चक्षुः, ॐ श्रोत्रं श्रोत्रम्, ॐ नाभिः, ॐ हृदयम्, ॐ कण्ठः, ॐ शिरः, ॐ बाहुभ्यां यशोबलम्, ॐ करतलकरपृष्ठे ॐ भूः पुनातु शिरसि ॐ भुवः पुनातु नेत्रयोः ॐ स्वः पुनातु कण्ठे ॐ महः पुनातु हृदये ॐ जनः पुनातु नाभ्याम् ॐ तपः पुनातु पादयोः ॐ सत्यं पुनातु पुनः शिरसि ॐ खं ब्रह्म पुनातु सर्वत्र ॐ भुः ॐ भुवः ॐ स्वः ॐ महः ॐ जनः ॐ तपः ॐ सत्यम् ॐ ऋतं च सत्यं चाभिधात्तपसोऽध्यजायत ततो रात्र्यजायत ततः समुद्रो अर्णवः ॐ समुद्रादर्णवादधि संवत्सरो अजायत अहोरात्राणि विदधद्विश्वस्य मिषतो वशी ॐ सूर्याचन्द्रमसौ धाता यथा पूर्वमकल्पयत् दिवं च पृथिवीं चान्तरिक्षमथो स्वः ॐ शन्नो देवीरभिष्टय आपो भवन्तु पीतये संयोरभिस्रवन्तु नः ॐ प्राचीदिगग्निरधिपतिरसितो रक्षितादित्या ईशवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नम ईशुभ्यो नमयेभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान्द्वेष्टियं वयं दिश्मस्तं वोजम्भे दध्मः ॐ दक्षिणादिगिन्द्रोऽधिपतिस्थिरश्चिराजीरक्षिता पितर ईशवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नम ईशुभ्यो नमयेभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान्द्वेष्टियं वयं दिश्मस्तं वोजम्भे दध्मः ॐ प्रतीचीदिग्वरुणोऽधिपतिः प्रीदाकुरक्षितान्नमीषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नम ईशुभ्यो नमयेभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान्द्वेष्टियं वयं दिश्मस्तं वोजम्भे दध्मः ॐ उदीचीदिक्सोमोऽधिपतिः स्वजो रक्षिता शनिरिषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नम ईशुभ्यो नमयेभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान्द्वेष्टियं वयं दिश्मस्तं वोजम्भे दध्मः ॐ ध्रुवादिग्विष्णुरधिपतिः कल्माषग्रीवो रक्षिता वीरुधैषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नम ईशुभ्यो नमयेभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान्द्वेष्टियं वयं दिश्मस्तं वोजम्भे दध्मः ॐ ऊर्ध्वादिबृहस्पतिरधिपतिः श्वित्रो रक्षिता वर्षमीषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नम ईशुभ्यो नम एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान्द्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तं वोजम्भे दद्मः ॐ उद्वयं तमसस्परिस्वः पश्यन्त उत्तरम् देवं देवत्रा सूर्यमगन्मज्योतिरुत्तमम् ॐ उदित्यं जातवेदसं देवं वहन्ति केतवः दृशे विश्वाय सूर्यम् ॐ चित्रं देवानामुदगादनीकं चक्षुर्मित्रस्य वरुणस्याग्नेः आप्राद्या वा पृथिवी अन्तरिक्षं सूर्य आत्मा जगतस्तस्थुषश्च स्वाहा ॐ तच्चक्षुर्देवहितं पुरस्ताच्छुक्रमुच्चरत् पश्येम शरदाः शतं जीवेम शरदाः शतं शृणुयाम शरदाः शतं प्रब्रवाम शरदाः शतमदीनाः शरदाः शतं भूयश्च शरदाः शतात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् हे ईश्वर दयानिधे भवत्कृपयानेन जपोपासनादिकर्मणा धर्मार्थकाममोक्षाणां सद्यः सिद्धिर्भवेन्नः ॐ नमः शम्भवाय च मयो भवाय च नमः शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च ॐ शान्तिः 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 In our mantra Swadhyaya Shankhala of Aaryabhivinaya Granth, Dvitiya Prakash, book second, and today is a very famous, popular mantra of Yajurveda, also of Isha Upanishad. The mantra is the fifth mantra of Adhyay 40th chapter of Yajurveda, and this mantra is all about the Swarup of Paramatma, that how that Paramatma is, and how the basic quest within us should be that how can this mantra be useful for our spiritual growth, because whole Yajurveda 40th chapter, which is Isha Upanishad, is that spiritual essence of the Veda. If someone concentrate and contemplate on these mantra of 40th chapter, 18 mantra, then one will surely have that perception of Paramatma vividly in one's consciousness. Because without the right contemplation, but before contemplation, we need the true Swarup of Paramatma in front of us. And that is there in Isha Upanishad. And it is not only the Swarup of Paramatma, but the way it is described by Parameshwar himself in the Veda, in this 40th chapter, is very effective in our spiritual realizations and in our practices towards the spiritual realizations. But for that, every mantra has to be decoded within ourselves, not for anyone else. Because individual realizations and revelations that must take place before it gives its effect to others. And this is a very natural way. If someone has tasted or experienced something, only then one understands the significance of that object, of that thing. If someone has not experienced, then it becomes only a verbal explanation of that, in which is our ideal. Ideal is good, we should make ideals, but the purpose of making the ideal is to realize the ideal. That is the purpose. If we don't move towards, if we are not encouraged enough, or we are not motivated enough to realize the ideals which we have made for us for this life, then it means there are only two reasons. That first, we are proclaiming that we have made, this is our ideal, but inwardly we are not admitting it, we have not accepted it completely, integrally in all parts of our being. Maybe somewhere in the consciousness, some doubts are lurking, which are not letting us practice what we want to practice in order to realize the ideal. The second, there is so much tamas, pramad, which is holding us. There is not enough knowledge maybe to move forward. And that pramad, that procrastination also is a big hindrance in our sadhana towards the spiritual life. So let's read the mantra first. And then this is the 12th mantra of Dvitiya Prakash. And then we will go to the Padarth. And then Vyakhya. Om Tadejati Tannai Taddure Tadvantike Tadantarasya Sarvasya TADU SARVASYAASYA BHAAHYATAH. What a beautiful mantra is this. So Tat, it starts from TADEJATI, TADEJATI. So Tat, that Paramatma, that Brahma, that Parameshwar, Ejati, causes to move or sets in motion. So these people, some people, they confuse it. How do they translate? That Paramatma which is moving and Tad, Tat na ejati, Tadejati, Tannaijati, Tat na ejati. That Paramatma is moving and that Paramatma is stable, motionless, immovable. So then naturally in the mind it will come, how then these contradictory statements be together? But these are not contradictory. This is the Swarup of Paramatma, that Paramatma, the right meaning of this mantra, of this part of the mantra is that Paramatma is causing or this entire creation to move or setting in motion. That is the meaning. And how he's doing? He's doing not it because something, just scientifically, if we think, what is displacement? Displacement happens when something leaves its one place to move to the other place. That is displacement. The movement from one place to another. For that, one needs to be ekadeshiya. One needs to be limited. Only then there the movement can be possible in any object. But when Paramatma is omnipresent everywhere, that Paramatma, how can that Paramatma move? So that is one scientific understanding we must have. And the second thing, the second question comes, if that Paramatma cannot move, then how that Paramatma is making everything move in this universe? So, as Maharshi Dayanand also describes in Satyat Prakash, that Paramatma is so powerful that he does not need any physical means to move anything. His will, his omnipotent will is enough to move things forward. That is why he is called Pranav. And Tat Ejati, Tat Na Ejati, that Paramatma who is the cause of all movements in this world, in this universe, in this multiverse, in this entire creation, is immovable, motionless, changeless. It is imperishable, and at the same time, it is without any change, without any motion. And then Tat Dure, Tat Dure, that Paramatma is distant, far. Now this can make the mind puzzle that how that Paramatma be far if we are saying that Paramatma is omnipresent. That is a natural curiosity someone can have in the mind. So the answer is there are three types of distances. We can have three types of distance from anything. The first is the first distance in relation with the space. That I am sitting here and that thing, something, that person is sitting or living this distant, the distance, this in terms of the place, the space between two objects, 1 kilometer, 1 mile, 2 miles, 300 miles, that is in respect of space. The second, in respect of time. Mahabharata happened 5,000 years back. That is the duri, that is the distance of time between this time present we are living and the Mahabharata. At the time Shri Krishna Maharaj was born and he gave the knowledge, the yogic knowledge to Arjuna in the Kurukshetra. The second thing, the third duri is the distance of knowledge. Many times it happens with us, most of the time, that we are searching something. Suppose we forgot our phone and we are looking everywhere, we don't know where it is, and suddenly we remember, oh, I have kept it in my pocket, so we found it in our pocket. So, till the time we don't know where is something, then we are distant from that thing. And many times it happens in our life. If you are going in a dark room and you see something like a snake, we might be afraid, we might be scared of that snake. But when somebody switches the light on, then we see that, oh, this is not, our fear evaporates. Why? Because of the knowledge. So in that sense also, the knowledge, the distance from the knowledge is there. That is why. So here, this is third kind of distance. In that sense, this word is used. Duri means the distance of knowledge. Till the ignorance there, till the adharma is there, till the restlessness is there in ourself, we cannot align our consciousness with that motionless divine consciousness, which is completely immovable, completely constant. And when we are always restless, not silent, our mind is like a whirlpool, all the time thoughts and different kinds of agitations, then how can we accept that we can feel the presence of the divine, of the Paramatma? We have to first, that is why the first necessity of Ishwar Upasana, to sit quietly, to make the prana stable through pranayama, to establish that calmness, that tranquility in our nerves, in our physical cells, so that we start to feel going within. And without that, it is not possible to feel the presence of Paramatma. Then the Tad-dure, where Paramatma is far from those who are ignorant, and Tadvantike, that Paramatma is near, close, intimate to those who are aware, who are conscious, who are pure hearted, who are truthful, who are sincere, who have devotion. Yo jagaraha tam richah kamayanti, yo jagar tamu samaniyanti, yo jagar tavayam soma aha, tavaham asme sakhe nyokaha. So we have to be conscious, aware. The second half of the mantra, Tadantarasya, Tat Antarasya, that Paramatma is inside, within the heart of everything. In this Paramatma is pervading everything inside out. Sa Ishwarah Sarva Bhutanam Hriddeshe Arjuna Tishtati. That Paramatma is in the heart of everything, is residing inside everything. And of all, Sarvasya, of everything. Tat U Sarvasya, that Paramatma U indeed. This is emphasis, that Paramatma is indeed U Sarvasya, of all, of this world, Asya, BHAAHYATAH, externally and internally, that Paramatma is pervading everything. So basically, if we look at the structure of the mantra, what this mantra, what Paramatma wants us to say, is giving indication to it. Is Paramatma is saying that to whom I am near and to whom I am far, to where you can find me. Within the heart of everything, we can find the Paramatma in our Hridaya Guha. That is the main purpose, that to feel that Paramatma's presence, which is like Amrit, which is Amrit indeed, to feel that Paramatma's presence and to dwell into that and to progress, to grow in that consciousness. into that divine consciousness. To be aligned with that, that needs a lot of efforts, more efforts than one uses, one attains successful in this world. It needs more sincerity than that. It needs utmost dedication, commitment, and one pointedness, ekagrata. Without that, one is far away from Paramatma, from that knowledge point of view, and one is near to Paramatma if one is conscious and trying to make efforts to progress in spiritual life. So now let's go and read the Vyakhya, and then we will also, after that, have some more little points to discuss on this beautiful spiritual revelatory mantra. So the Vyakhya given by Maharshi Dayanand Ji is Tad Brahma Ejati. वह परमात्मा सब जगत को यथा योग्य अपनी अपनी चाल पर चला रहा है। सो अविद्वान लोग ईश्वर में भी आरोप करते हैं कि वह भी चलता होगा, परंतु वह सब में पूर्ण है, कभी चलायमान नहीं होता। अतएव तन्नैजति यह प्रमाण है, स्वतः वह परमात्मा कभी नहीं चलता, एक रस निश्चल होके भरा है। विद्वान लोग इसी रीति से ब्रह्म को जानते हैं। तद्दूरे अधर्मात्मा, अविद्वान, विचार शून्य, अजितेंद्रिय, ईश्वर भक्ति रहित इत्यादि दोष युक्त मनुष्यों से वह ईश्वर बहुत दूर है, अर्थात वे कोटि कोटि वर्ष तक उसको प्राप्त नहीं होते। तब तक जन्म मरण आदि दुख सागर में इधर उधर घूमते फिरते हैं कि जब तक उसको नहीं जानते। तदवंतिके सत्यवादी, सत्यकारी, सत्यवानी, मन वचन और शरीर से जो सत्यवादी हैं, सत्यकारी हैं और सत्यमानी हैं, जितेंद्रिय, सर्वजनोपकारक, विद्वान, विचारशील पुरुषों के वह अंतिके अत्यंत निकट है। तद अंतरस्य सर्वस्य, किंच वह सबके आत्माओं के बीच में व्यापक अंतर्यामी होके सर्वत्र पूर्ण भर रहा है। वह आत्मा का भी आत्मा है, क्योंकि तदु सर्वास्यास्य बाह्यतः, परमेश्वर सब जगत के भीतर और बाहर तथा मध्य अर्थात एक तिल मात्र भी उसके बिना खाली नहीं है। वह अखंडैक रस सब में व्यापक हो रहा है। उसी को जानने से ही सुख और मुक्ति होती है, अन्यथा नहीं। So we will read in English version. Paraphrase: the Supreme Brahman moves only in the sense that he sets the entire cosmos into motion according to its rightful order. The ignorant, bound by illusion, that they imagine that he too must be subject to movement. Yet he, being complete, is ever motionless, unchanging and self-established. Thus he never moves of his own accord. The knowers of truth perceive Brahman exactly in this manner. Though he appears far from the unrighteous, those steeped in ignorance, without discrimination, uncontrolled in senses, and devoid of devotion, such people cannot attain him even in countless ages. They continue wandering in the ocean of birth and death until true knowledge arises. And yet, to the truthful, disciplined, self-controlled, and compassionate and wise, he is exceedingly near. He dwells as the inner ruler seated within the heart of all beings, pervading them completely from within. And he also envelops all from without. Not even the smallest space exists without him. He alone is the indivisible, all-pervading reality. To know him is to attain bliss and liberation. Apart from him, there is no other path to freedom. So there is one more thing to understand here, that Paramatma, Rishi Dayanand, why did he say that Paramatma is indivisible, akhand, ek ras? So what is the meaning of akhand? Which cannot be divided. And when Paramatma, when we accept this truth, Swarup of Paramatma, that he is akhand, only then all these other attributes can be applied to Paramatma. Because akhand means which we cannot, no, nothing can divide. Because Paramatma is omnipresent. Paramatma cannot be divided. And there is one more philosophical explanation of akhand. Akhand is when there is combination of two different elements, then it is called sanghat in philosophy, in darshan. And also sanghat which is used by other being, that is called sanghat. So this entire creation is a sanghat. Why? It is made of, it is consisted of sattva, rajas and tama, these three fundamental elements. That is why the prakriti is not akhand, it is khand khand. It is made of different particles, that is why it is not akhand. But Paramatma and Atma is akhand because they are immaterial, they are not made of any matter. There is nothing in this entire universe which is made of, this soul is made of. So that is why Atma is also akhand. And so akhand in the sense of we are using here, which is immaterial. Only matter can be divided, not Paramatma and not Jivatma. Because of their nature, they are not made of any, they are not made, they are not consisted of any material or any matter. So that is why we need to have this clear understanding, what is the meaning of akhanda. Because if we have this philosophical clarification in our self clarity, only then we can understand the deeper parts of the mantra. Otherwise, if someone will not understand, then anything one can perceive according to one's limited knowledge. So we have to increase our knowledge of the Shastras by, even though sometimes we stuck at the grammar part of the Sanskrit, then we have to take the help of the other Shastras, of the Rishi Granth, so that we understand more clearly what the mantra Parmeshwar wants to make us understand. That is the way to have the right understanding of a mantra. So this was the mantra, very powerful mantra for the spiritual contemplation and for the self-realization, for the Paramatma, to feel the presence of the Paramatma. Everyone should know this word, this mantra by heart. The whole Ishopnishad should be learned by heart. It helps a lot in different situations, because if we remember sometimes the mantra, immediately we reflect on it, and when we start reflecting on the mantra, then we get that vibration, that subtle inspiration from the divine consciousness. These are the links, bridges between our limited individual consciousness to that infinite, omnipresent divine consciousness. So that is how we should learn them. Let's do Shanti part, and then if there will be any question. ॐ द्यौः शान्तिरन्तरिक्षं शान्तिः पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरोषधयः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवाः शान्तिः ब्रह्म शान्तिः सर्वं शान्तिः शान्तिरेव शान्तिः सामा शान्तिरेधि ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। सभी को सादर नमस्कार।